Well, good morning. Joined me this morning out the banks of the old River Ouse. It's a gorgeous morning. Sun's just coming up over the top of the hill, over the top of the bank here behind me. It's forecast to be quite a warm day, really, towards the end of September. Meant to be getting a bit of a breeze coming up from, supposed to be southeasterly. At the moment, the breeze is coming northeast, so it's got to swing round a fair amount. East is literally directly behind me. I'm fishing on an area which is controlled by Ely Beach Sports and Social, which is also subletted to Pinemore Club. Fishing halfway along the stretch. Just had a bite there and bumped it. Fishing halfway along the stretch. This is an area I fished a few weeks ago. Similar sort of conditions. Levels a little bit lower. Clarity is still the same. But I just thought I'd come and give it a go. Time before I just fished the feeder. But today I'm actually going to fish the feeder and the slider. I've already put 6 big sort of Jaffa sized balls on the slider line. It's about a third the way out, something like that. Probably around about, I don't know, about 18 metres I'll be fishing. 16, 18 metres. I'm fishing the feeder 3 parts away over, just about 2 or 3 metres shy of the bottom shelf. Feeder, 12-foot cadence number 2. I've got 6-pound shock leader, 5-pound mainline CS10 reel. I'm just fishing a small Nisa open end, 28 gram, and I've got an 012 Spire Silk Shock hook length, and we're using the Preston N30 hook in size 18. On that I'm going to be fishing worm, caster, sweet corn, sort of mixing match really. With the water being quite clear, there's been a lot of small fish about lately which are willing to take the bait, so hopefully 1 or 2 of them might come in on the mix. I've not put any chopped worm out at all. All I've put out is probably around about 12 big feederfuls. Then I'll put 3 basket feeders over the top of that with caster and corn in. Like I say, I'm fishing about 3 parts away over. It's not over deep, I'll say probably, slider's probably around about 15 foot deep. Right, what we got on the bait tray today. So, ground bait today. See, it's a nice dark mix. That's actually Bait Tech Pro Natural Bream Dark. And I've got some Bait Tech Fine Lake Dark as well, and I've also got some crushed hemp. It's a lot, I've mixed it a bit damper than what I normally do. Hey up, we got a bite. So I've mixed it a little bit damper to what I normally do, just to see if there's any difference. Like I say, normally it's a little bit drier. It's been a long bite. Normally it's a little bit dry, but I thought I'd just mix it a little bit on the damp side today, just to see if it makes any difference. So, like I say, that's also in with that mix there. I've got probably around about half a pint of crushed hemp as well. I mixed it all up last night with some boiling water straight out the kettle, just to sort of deaden it down a little bit. put out about, like I say, probably about 12 feeder fulls, the Guru bait hook feeder. Then got a basket feeder there, it's closed off at the top, and I put out 3 with castor and 1 with sweet corn. Grain bait mix for the slider is exactly the same mix, but all I've done, I've riddled on top some lean, some terre de somme, and that's lightened the mix up just a little bit. But like I say, I've put in around about 6 sort of balls that size with plenty of dead maggot in. Leave that for a while I'm fishing the feeder, then go on it either with a worm or dead maggot corn over the top, just to see what we got. We've got some casters. Picked up these casters yesterday, lovely casters. So I've already putting a bit of that on the feed line. I've got some sweet corn, I've got some normal red maggot, and I've got some dead maggot as well. And of course, got a big bag of worm. Got plenty of hook lengths. We need to chop and change. Got a bit more sweet corn in the bag here somewhere. Here we go. Got some more sweet corn. So it's the Bait Tech natural sweet corn. That's the smaller of the 2 tins. They do another tin, it's a little bit bigger, which I've used today. So I'm probably going to loose feed a little bit as I'm fishing the slider. Also as well, which I'll probably loose feed over the top, is some of the Bait Tech Superseed hemp. I'll just loose feed that over the top. There's been a lot of roach in the system just lately, so I've got 2 stop knots on the slider, and I can shallow it up and fish a little bit of hemp on the hook if I need to. So if I need to chop some worm up, I can chop some worm up. But at the moment, I'm just going to leave it as it is, because I didn't chop worm into the swim. It's been a bit 50-50 of late. I normally had a fair bit, but I've noticed the last few weeks I haven't really wanted it. Well, what I have also noticed as well is you get 1 or 2 fish and they seem to drop off, but the minute then you start to introduce a little bit of worm, they come back. So I can chop some worm up if need be, but I'm just going to feel my way into the swim and just to see what happens. I'll get 1 or 2 bites, so I'm going to leave it as it is for the time being. I've bit the worm clean in too. So I'll stick with the worm for the time being. Sort of snip it in half. Just hook it through the cut end, and I'm just tipping it off with a caster. Chilly this morning. There we go. Worm and caster, and I'm just putting a pinch of caster in with the mix. Like I say, it's quite damp, so I haven't got to squeeze it in too tight and explode out the feeder. Just hit the clip, follow it down, sink the line. So it's around about 15 foot deep, so it doesn't take long to get to the bottom. So where you normally fish along 10-mile bank, that can be anywhere 20 foot deep. Some places a little bit more. So on the slider, I've got set up Cadence CR10 14 foot number 1. This is the softest rod of the range. Like I say, it's not as deep, so I'm not fishing sort of the medium action. It's nice and soft, because I'm hoping to get in amongst some of the skimmers that sort of size. I've got 10 gram carbon slider, big long insert. It's actually 2 gram of loading. It's 8 gram that you need for the float. So what I've actually got is 6 gram Olivet. I've got my line of number 9s that you see there. Metre fluorocarbon, 020, quick change. And I've got 011 down to a size 16 Hayabusa hook. We've got 6 pound main line with CS8 reel. Line is the Dave Harrell new Pro Match. I like to use a fairly robust line, because when you're sliding the stop knot up and down all the time, the line definitely takes a little bit of hammer. Definitely a few fish in the swim. Missing 1 or 2 bites, which I don't mind, because at least there's 1 or 2 there. I'm actually going to put a whole worm on this time. Sometimes just by putting a whole worm on, you can get a better bite. So let's see. So it's a beautiful morning. So it's a lovely sort of bit of water up there, back up towards Ely. You go down, and Little Port is down to my right. See, it's reed lined, sort of where the ripple's finishing in the shadow of the far bank. That's where I'm fishing. Got rod down at the moment. Tighten it up. So it's the water's very clear. We're desperately in need of a lot of rain, as most of the country is. But if we get 1 or 2 bites, so we ain't gonna grumble. So I'm gonna, like I say, I'm gonna carry on the feeder, probably for another hour or so, see how we get on. So if I'm catching 1 or 2 fish, then I'll probably put another couple of balls in on the slider line, carry on the feeder. You see what happens really. Like I say, it's all unpredictable every time you go out, especially it's going to be a clear day, bright sunshine. Recipe for disaster really. But will you get 1 or 2 bites? You never know. So I'll carry on plugging away. Hopefully we'll have 1 or 2 fish to report shortly. One never knows. Oosh. We can get 1 or 2 small skimmers. Like that. I've had a couple of better ones, a couple of net skimmers. But the bites are sort of coming in spits and farts really. Seem to get 1 or 2 bites. Then nothing. A couple of fish, then nothing. Got a couple of perch taken on the drop. I've actually started introducing some worm now. Seems to be, when the bites died off, introducing a little bit of worm. Get the odd bites again now. The winds come round now to the southeasterly like it's supposed to be. haven't been out on the slider yet. Wind's not over favourable for it now. I'm definitely gonna still have a go on it. Getting a lot more bites, like I say. Now I started introducing some worm. Just like I was saying earlier, it seems to be this is sort of how it's been just lately, that if you introduce it from the start, then it's really been the kiss of death. But if you introduce it part way after you've started, starts to bring one or two fish back. Straight away as the feeder hits the bottom, sort of getting little indications on the worm. Nice little skimmer. Little fish. Now it's actually just cutting the worm straight in two and using the tail end. Pinch a chop worm in, caster in the feeder, not a lot, only a tiny pinch. The old rowers, because they have a tendency to come right in close. The river's just starting to trip through a little bit as well. Tiny tinge of colour, so it's definitely starting to move a little bit, I think. Whether that's going to help, I don't know. In the system at the moment, which is really great to see. I think that was a very lucky skimmer that time, because there was a big flash come right behind it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this up and I'm going to have a quick go on the slider. I'm just going to have a quick go on the slider. 6 big Jaffa sized balls of ground bait out, packed with dead maggot. About 10-15 minutes ago I put 2 smaller balls out, probably about 4 inches on the bottom. Fish dead maggot to start with, good bite then. About 16 metres I suppose. So I'm laid on a bit. Surface layers being pushed through by the wind. It's a nice method to fish when they're having it, but the sun's starting to come a little bit higher in the sky now. Like I say, it's very clear. Tiny tinge sort of on the inside, but that water is still very clear. Laid it on, like I say, 4 maybe 5 inches, just to see if there is any skimmers around, if they'll have it. Tiny bite there. Small skimmer. There's a lot of fish that size in the system at the moment. It's brilliant to see. With the wind, sort of combat the wind. So we're casting into the wind a little bit. Sort of sink it, 2 or 3 turns on the reel to speed it off, pay the line out by hand, just slowly tighten it up, keep the rod under the water so the surface breeze in the skim doesn't drag the line offline. Is the line sort of dragging the float through. You want it to try and be as natural as possible. Like I say, I might have to take a little bit of depth off. It's a case of just playing it by ear and work your way and see how they want it. But I'm going to start by laying it on. Tripping through a little tiny bit. Which ain't too bad. Like I say, I've cast just to the left of where I put the ground bait in, so it's just tripping through bit by bit until we get over the top of the ground bait. Well, hopefully that'll be the kill zone. take a little bit of depth off. So I've got 2 stop knots, which for what you want to do with the depth is absolutely, I find, crucial. So I've got 2 stop knots here, so I can now just move that first knot, move that about 3 inches, just leave the other one exactly where it is. That way there I can go back to my original depth whenever I want. So I took that little bit of depth off now, so we'll see what reaction we get, if any. So got about a foot of the rod under the water. Tripping through a little bit with the flow now. Not much. Size skimmer to catch on the slider. See if we can get 1 or 2 more. Actually, I'm fishing the hemp on the slider. First fish on it, been feeding it. That's a beautiful roach. A few small fish. Come up off the bottom bit, and I had had a roach. So I thought shallow up just a bit. See if we can get one or two on the seed. So probably fish the whip. Get them in a bit closer. It's just nice to do something a little bit different. What I'm doing at the moment is just pushing the hook in the split. Pin it if need be. Save at the moment. That'll do. Feeding about a dozen grains. There. There's a few bites, so I'll see if I can pin a piece of hemp on. Just push it in the split for now. Case of keep going up and down with the depth, especially with this deep water. See where the fish are going to be lying. That fish has actually took it on the drop, so we need to go a little bit shallower. hemp now. I've punctured the seed end, the flat end, just feeding the hook through the spoon. now fishing. Let's see, 9 foot deep. several roach that sort of size. Started on the hemp, now catching them on the corn. Absolutely brilliant. A little bit better on the slider. An absolute beautiful morning again on the bank. Started on the feeder and had one decent skimmer, a few small ones, a few roach. Came in on the waggler on the bottom and had a couple of skimmers. Had some fish on the hemp. Swapped over, catching roach on the corn. In the ooze system at the moment, so it's very clear still, but if you want to catch a net of roach and anywhere along the ooze at the moment, it's the place to be. Some fish hemp tear on the pole. I can't fish the pole too much at the moment. So enjoy fishing the rod. A lot of fish about this sort of size. Absolute immaculate roach. Look at that. Beautiful fish. Probably used about half a tin of corn. I've used a small tin of hemp. The bottom, but be prepared that you got to come up. Like I say, I'm probably now fishing 9 foot deep.
Okay, they've had a very different the sort of cross tail we had on the way out.
You do have them on the road.
Grip happening now at the front end, and your bodies are leaning against just leaning into the stroke a lot more. So just making sure that your weight a lot better than you were on the way down that tail.
Rows about today. A lot of 8s and 4s, so must be an event on somewhere soon. A lot of Americans through today. Perfect for them to be out on. We all have to share the river. And they've all been, everyone's been considerate in moving over. If they've been a bit close, even apologise, so we all have to share the river. Into the middle, bring it back 2 or 3 turns. Paint your hemp over the top. fish. I don't think they've probably never ever seen a fisherman. And poor little monkey had to come and see me. There you go. Lovely roach here on the ooze. Brilliant. Catch you next time on the bank.